7 ways to have humility, starting from empathy, appreciating humility.
When there are people who are brave, we often appreciate them, applaud, chuckle in admiration, and even make them idols. For example, an ordinary citizen opposes a corrupt, rasuah governor, minister, or a just leader who dares to fire his subordinates who are the children, brothers of a respected person. People like the story of the Prophet Daud vs Jalut, or better known as David vs Goliath, a little one facing a giant. Just as we appreciate the courage to stand up to something greater than himself, we should give the same appreciation to those who strive to be humble, to hold back their anger, and to choose soft words. Opponents of injustice should be rewarded, but if our attention is focused solely on the story of that model, we will lose the appreciation for humility and gentleness, the effect of which is far-reaching. We will lose the spirit of humility, the spirit of holding back anger, and the spirit of choosing soft words. We must pay attention. Humble people are often liked by others. But how do you practice this humility? The trick starts with getting used to doing some of these things. Feeling a thirst for praise like a narcissistic person has more or less roots in a lack of humility. In fact, being humble means being modest about one's own role, not exaggerating and considering being superior to others. Unfortunately, humility is becoming increasingly rare, especially in the era of social media that shapes the behavior of people who want to show off everything with a polish that doesn't match reality. In this era of digital and fast-paced information, being humble is becoming increasingly challenging. How to develop a humble attitude? The essence of humility is to see the figure of yourself with the right proportions. Not too much to be arrogant or too little that results in low self-esteem. In concocting a humble attitude, there are 3 things that need to be combined: awareness of strengths and weaknesses, openness to receive criticism, empathy towards others. So, how do you create a humble attitude? Here are the steps. 1. Don't get tired of asking for criticism. There are times when someone feels that what they are doing is perfect, just because they don't hear criticism or input from other people. To manifest humility, do the opposite. Ask for criticism or input from people who are closest and honest. Don't hesitate to ask if you're humble enough, what your weaknesses are, and what you need to do to become a more empathetic person. By asking these things, it can be seen how many. 2. Don't defend yourself. Naturally, when someone gets criticism or input, they will respond defensively. Resist not doing this. Even if it's unpleasant to hear criticism or feedback, find time to deal with it as a moment to learn and grow. Understand very well that to manifest humility, it takes time and consistent effort. Be open to learning and accept input sincerely. Responding to feedback with self-defense will not be effective. 3. Empathy towards others. The root of humility is empathy for others. There are two crucial parts of empathy, namely the ability to see things through the other person's perspective while respecting the other person's existence. By building a sense of empathy, at the same time a humble nature will be formed. Practice putting yourself in the other person's shoes. In this way, empathy can break the pattern of being too self-centered and allow a person to be more connected to others. In the long run, this will have a positive impact on relationships with other people. Four, don't hesitate to ask. Practicing being a humble person means that you don't hesitate to position yourself as someone who needs to learn more things. Don't hesitate to ask. Get rid of the old paradigm that asking will make someone look stupid. On the contrary, asking questions will provide space for other people to participate and eventually discuss. It is possible that one simple question can make a big difference. It's part of being humble because you don't feel like you know everything. 5. Be a good listener. Along with the ability to not defend yourself when receiving criticism, be a good listener. This is the first step that needs to be taken if you want to have a humble nature. Of course, to be a good listener, you need to respect the person speaking. Remember, everyone has an equally valuable perspective. Don't judge someone just by their outward appearance or by their position in the office. Whoever he is may have valuable opinions or experiences for others. Six, self-aware. Everyone in this world is part of such a huge universe. It's like realizing that you are not the center of the universe. By instilling this mindset, a person will no longer feel the most important or selfish and will be able to appreciate the existence of others. Seven, don't expect appreciation. To be humble, one should say as little about oneself as possible. In any way, from showing off openly to humble brag, which is showing off wrapped in false humility. Thus, there will be no hope of getting appreciation or praise from others. There is a myth that says a humble person will go unnoticed or less prominent in an environment. This is a big mistake. In fact, a humble person will appear much more attractive than a person who likes to brag. It's not easy to be humble. It takes a lot of consistency and determination. Especially if the surrounding environment is busy showing off their respective strengths and egos, it will be increasingly difficult to manifest humility.